Hey guys, this is just a little review of the Ralco short shifter for the Lexus is300. I picked this up about 8 months ago, and yeah, I had some issues when I first got it. It's I'll just roll through the gears. It's a nice short shift. Fifth and reverse are a little difficult to get into. There's fifth. There's reverse. It really works in well. I really advise you guys, if you put this in, to give it a good work-in phase. I've only had this car with this installed for about let's see here, yeah, about 8 months. So, but no, I highly recommend it. One reason I don't think I'm gonna go with this shifter any longer and return it to stock is because it does tend to rattle, and that rattle has gone down over time, but it does still rattle, and especially in the high RPMs, which I will show you guys. And yeah, just so you make an informed decision, I'll include the link down below for the Ralco short throw shifter. And this is just sorry, there's a little glare on it, but that's the Chris Forsberg shift knob. Really cool little shift knob. I'll obviously be keeping that shift knob on the stock shifter. Really loving this car, and yeah, might do a review on the car if you guys are interested, but it seems like there's a lot of is300s out there, so we'll see. So for example, we're just gonna roll on to second here with the Ralco, and we're gonna see its behavior, where it starts to rattle. 5,000 RPMs, 6,000 RPMs. So you guys heard that rattle, and it's not a big deal. Normally I would be shifting before then. My red line's around 6,300 RPMs. And sometimes when I'm attacking those high RPMs quickly, it doesn't behave like that, but you know, sometimes when I downshift it does it, and it's just a nuisance. It's just a nuisance, and no one likes shakes or vibrations. I mean, this is a 2002, so you're gonna get some shakes and vibrations, but I think because the stock shifter, I kept it and it's still an option, I think for that reason I am gonna go back to it. So step one to switching out the shifter is going to be to take your shift knob off. And I got this nice, what I thought was nice, Chris Forsberg. He's a drifter or whatever, but it's a really cool billet aluminum, nice like rivets in it. Cool shift knob, doesn't get like super hot, but yeah, it definitely does get hot in the summer. Not as bad as like the solid stuff. These kind of help cool it a little bit, I guess. But this bushing here is the rate limiting step in me getting the boot off, and it is just not gonna want to come off there. So I don't want to ruin this bushing because I wanted to use it with the stock shifter, but you know, what has to be done has to be done. So probably gonna take the vice grips and let you guys to this plastic bushing, and it's probably gonna ruin it pretty good. So it is what it is. See how it goes. So as you can see, guys, I did have to use the vice grips to get the plastic Forsberg bushing off. That's that Mishimoto shifter, and just as I feared, we're gonna have to use a new knob on the stock knob because I had to maraud this thing. Dunzo. Oh well. The Ralco came with a pretty nice knob, but yeah, excuse to buy a new shift knob. Not bad, not bad. So now, this, you're gonna start by, take out your ashtray, take out your cigarette lighter, and you should be able to just pull up here and pull up from the ashtray, and the whole thing will kind of pop up, and you got to unplug the fuses here. There should be 2 of them around the cigarette lighter. I'll let you know how that goes. So I lied, there are 3 little connectors back there. They're little push pins, so I'm going to do those right now, and then this whole boot assembly should come right out. So if you can see here, 2 of them are push pins, push tab right there on my left thumb, push tab right there on my left thumb, and this one has none. It just pulls right out, just so you're not looking for an unnecessary tab there. So this rubber piece is kept on by this bracket, this silver bracket that goes all the way around. And to that there are 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 millimeters. Let me get the Craftsman out and take those off. So the bolts back here are kind of angled. If you see, this is, this is the end of my 10 millimeter, and I had to, you see it's kind of tilted. I can't get it straight in, so I kind of had to finagle it a little. This is a pretty big rubber piece under it. You can see where my hand is. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is a pretty big rubber piece. So you can almost compress the plate and assist with your fingers too. You can compress the plate in to give the bolt room to move. So that's what I did. So because this boot is rubber, it can come right up through this metal. And to get this metal piece out, you see it's, it's too big to get out of the common problems, right? So if you come up, put this side, the left side low, you can pull the other side up, and then you're free. So that comes up, and then you're looking at the Ralco. You see this first, I can't even get it into neutral. So there's neutral. These are hexes to get it out. I'm going to figure out exactly what size for you in just a moment. They appear to be the size 5 hex head. Bada bing, bada boom. So I got all the bolts out. For some of them, the hex bolts I had to use, or the Allen bolts, I had to use the old Husky clamp on top of the Allen key to get it out. The shifter should now be free. You see I can kind of lift it. Now we're going to want to be careful here. We want to study the angle that the bushing comes off. And this lithium grease smells like, well, it doesn't smell good, I'll put it that way. Kind of nasty, actually. So I kind of just screwed myself. Well, we're going to use that bushing again. That's actually the stock bushing. Everyone recommends you use that. I'm not. Alright, so here is the stock bushing that came off the Ralco knob as I'm uninstalling it. So what you want to do is, you want to keep it in good shape, obviously, but it's, you know, in a kind of a pool of grease down there, so it's really protective, and even this one's a little beat up, but that's not gonna affect its performance at all. So when you're doing it, literally I put a towel over the bushing and pop it off like a Coke can, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe like a bottle of your favorite brew, not your father's root beer. But yeah, and you know, people try to pull it straight off like this. Never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. You need the leverage, and you need to let it bend. This was warm, it came out of hot transmission when I did it. If it's cold, it could be a good idea to heat it up with a hairdryer. Not bad. So, and now we're gonna re-grease up the stock shift knob, the stock shifter, sorry. And let's see, I kind of chewed that guy up a little bit, but and then yeah, then we'll reinstall it, re-grease this up. It's gonna get kind of messy, so we're gonna re-grease it and put it back in. Alright, so here we go. We got the stock bushing back on the stock shifter. The way you do it, I just put a towel on pavement, got it all lubed up and pressed down. Should take a pretty good amount of force, but it's a pretty durable plastic, so wouldn't worry about it. So when I put this back in, my hands are going to be a mess, so I'm not going to take the camera with me. But you see this groove? There's little slits. You see that? It's not going to line up with the grooves in the you know, transmission column. So I want that groove to line up like that. And there's a little angle. You want it to be pointed toward the driver. So these grooves are going to be on the side. There's two of them. They're going to be on the sides, and you see how the shifter is pointed toward the driver? You don't want it pointed towards the passenger, because otherwise, I mean, it's going to knock and probably prevent you to getting into reverse and fifth gear with the parking brake in the way. So we'll go, and the key is you just want to get this lined up the same way it came out. I kind of had it at a weird angle, so it can be tricky to get the bushing back in, but that's kind of your rate limiting step. So I got the stock shifter in, much longer shifts, but for me, you know, I think it's the right play. It's just that rattle at that high RPM, I just couldn't do it. And this is my second car, kind of my toy car, so I frequently have it up at those high RPMs. So what I had to do is really difficult to drop it in. I actually had to shift using the Ralco shifter. I had to put it into neutral. I just put it in there with no bushing, because it was, I think previously it was in second gear, and the bushing was having a hard time hitting the angle. If you remember on this stock shifter here, it had slits, so that it would drop into teeth. You know, hold on, put this down. There's two teeth here that on each side that the stock shifter has to drop into. The Ralco, you see, it's just, you know, it's just a drop in. It doesn't have any teeth to drop down into. So I was having a hard time getting all that in, but you know, we're in now. So the rest is just, you know, kind of back. This guy got mangled when I took it off, but that's no big deal. Yeah, so the rest is just putting these pieces back on. I'm gonna clean some of this stuff up, because hopefully I'll never have to take this off again. Who knows, maybe I'll throw a little, I know there's like some fixes to the Ralco knob or the Ralco shifter where you can put like washers or a little spacer, because that noise apparently is coming from at high RPM. It's hitting on the bottom of the transmission. You know, I couldn't, if that were the case, I would have thought this would be beat, but you know, there's grease on it right now, but it's clean. So I don't know. I mean it's kind of flattened off. I gotta think it was like that from the factory. I don't remember explicitly, but yeah, overall, maybe I'll do something, because it is a longer shift. but I think it's the right play right now. So just finishing this up, when you guys put this bracket back on, make sure you guys get this wire right here out of the way. I'm guessing it goes to the, I don't know, who am I kidding? I have no idea what this goes to, but I know under this bracket, you know, you can see right to the road. So if something were to happen with this wire exposed, usually there's a pin up. You see this pin? My pin broke right there. There's a pin right there that would pin it right up here. Just make sure you get it out of the way, because you know, you hate to have something bounce up through by the transmission and give that wire a hard time. And it's really helpful to have these little 10mm wrenches, because you know this socket is fatter. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of slowly but surely giving this guy a turn. And you don't need this stuff to be, you know, very tight, because it is just rubber under it. But you know, ideally I don't have to come back under this for a while. And yeah, I'll update you with final thoughts in a moment. Alright, so this whole piece just kind of drops right back in. Make sure you do the clips there. Ashtray. And then last but not least, this is actually the Ralco shifter, or the Ralco shift knob that came with that shifter. I wasn't using it, I was using this knob. So unfortunately can't use this, I don't have the bushings for it. You see the threads here are match. So stock knob is kind of garbage. So we'll give this Ralco knob a try. How about that? Oh man, it's tall. I was kind of used to that. Short throw shifter. We'll see how I like this. It's feeling, it is sloppy, but you know, it is easy. So we'll run it for now. And see if we do something with the Ralco. So I just changed the shifter, and immediately, not having second thoughts, but it's a long throw. But I'm pretty confident, you know, that rattle's not going to be there. There was some, this shifter feels good. I mean, maybe I might be in the market for a new knob, but you know, other than that, this feels pretty good. Sorry for the poor video quality. Kind of just doing this on the iPhone, you know, just giving it a go. Might do a mount setup in the future, but yeah, until then, this is what I got. So thanks guys for watching. Have a great day.